Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a pandemic. What the F? What the F? Crazy, right? I'm glad to see all of your beautiful faces. I know this was kind of spontaneous over the last couple of days, so I just really wanted to offer this to you to just completely be a resource for you. You know, I sent this out to people who have, who are current clients, past customers, all of that. And of course, not everybody can talk on a Friday morning. It's not necessarily the most convenient time, but I still wanted to be able to offer this to you. So I want to be here this morning just to support you, answer any questions that you have about literally anything that you want to talk about, whether it's life, whether it's business, whether it's any concerns that you have, whether it is like literally any kind of strategy that you need support with. This is a no pitch call. So although I have a brand new exciting program coming out, I'm not going to be having a conversation about that right now. Sorry, I have this like contact problem this morning, all morning. So like whoever wants to jump in, raise your hand, just even if you just want to chat about what's happening in the world, if you're concerned about your business, all of that kind of stuff. Who wants to start?
Hey, Mary.
Hi, Kirsten. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. I'm looking a little frazzled here, but I'm doing
Please.
well.
Like, look, whenever you all see my hair up like this, it's usually because I don't want to like do anything to it, and it looks cute, but still.
Looks
Go
awesome.
ahead. Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
just I know you got your mastermind going, and I'm just more curious. What's your kind of long-term strategy you're teaching clients now that people are worried about the economic downturn. I mean, obviously there's a long game here, so I'm kind of curious your take on it.
So are you asking me specifically what I'm teaching mastermind clients or just my philosophy as a business owner?
Your philosophy. I mean, I assume your philosophy is consistent with what you're
It's so
telling your client.
consistent. This is the philosophy, y'all. This is really the truth, is that I am, I have zero concerns. I mean, I'm not in la la land here, not saying that there are not people who are suffering, like obviously, right? I'm a social worker, so that is so much on my heart. However, I feel so strongly that there are going to be people that lose their jobs, and there's going to be this amazingly different shift of money in our country. So there's people making a lot of money now off of this. I don't want to say off of this. I just mean that there's going to be different industries, different manufacturing, different people who will create and rise up from this. I have clients now, like somebody in the mastermind literally just closed her highest rate yesterday. Sorry, again, this is like, must be a cat here or something. So I'm not concerned about that. I just have a brand new client myself that's enrolled in our brand new program. And so where I'm coming from is a couple things. Number one is very on brand. Be a brave, outgoing leader, deciding that you're going to make the most of this. So that's really being bold. Your job right now, all of you, because I know all of you actually. So your job right now is to show up, be a leader, be consistent, which could look like maybe you're offering a free coaching session. Maybe you're doing something like this where you're giving service to your former clients, current clients. And if you don't have a single client, now's the time to really think, what's my message, right? And the other thing too, Kristen, is really, well, even I said this to John this morning. So in my personal life, I'm like, I do not want to gain 20 pounds over this. I have a fractured foot. I feel a little bitchy that I can't go hiking, even though you're supposed to stay inside, but we like do backcountry hiking. And I'm like, I'm not going to eat over this. So personally, literally this morning, I'm like, I got my poster board out. I'm, putting on there 30 straight days of yoga. I'll be working out. And then, so in my business, I'm developing a new, not only this, I have this program, but also new webinars, new email sequences are coming out. So I'm not stopping my business because I don't want to be behind ever. And I'm not going to allow this to interfere with my business to get behind, because this is how I look at it, right? Although it's a pandemic, it's also a test in a sense for us to remember that stuff always will come up with your business. New baby, new puppy, sick grandma, kid home from school. It's Christmas. It's spring break. It's summertime, you know, I like to take the month of August off and most of the month of December, you know? So it's like, there's always something. So consistency and courage are the keys to a successful business. So that's really the philosophy that I've always stood by, and it's not changed at all in the face of this, short of, you know, adding, maybe showing up more and being of service more. Like in my mastermind, I just added 2 more coaching days, group coaching days in there for people. So, you know, it's things like that. Is that helpful?
Very, thank you.
And so let me ask you, Kirsten, what are you doing differently? What's your take on all of this?
Well, yeah, I mean, I actually finally got my online Facebook group started, and I'm showing up and putting video on it and stuff. So, you know, yeah, I'm trying to do the show up more, but more of the, I'm thinking more long-term, like, you know, this is like, I'm setting myself up for the future when, you know, maybe, yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You don't want to show up out of nowhere. No, I say this, and there's people that will like do their bit, like I'll have new clients in 2 months, right? And next month and more this month. So I don't want to be like, don't just show up from nowhere. I mean, like, do what you're doing, right? Be consistent, still make offers to coach people. People want coaching right now, right? They need support. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, people are home now. I look at it like this, like, I'm like, God, I feel like, honestly, there's part of me that's like, I need to give a resurgence to, even though I put a pin in, for those of you who know this, the Regret Proof Life is my life coaching program and what I do with, you know, life coaching clients. And I'm like, I had planned on this whole year, 2020, just really focusing on getting my website retweaked and doing everything right now. And putting the Regret Proof Life on the back burner. But I'm like, I need to make an offer for life coaching. You know, there's people on my email list that need life coaching, not necessarily business strategy or anything. They need true life coaching right now because they're in the middle of it, right? And so I plan on putting that offer out. So there are people who, just think about it. I have a client, and we were talking strategy yesterday with her. And I mean, think about the parents that are home right now with their kids. Think about, like, right now we got sex, drugs, and rock and roll going on. We have kids. How many kids are going to get pregnant right now? How many adults are going to get pregnant right now? How many kids are screaming at their kid right now? How many women are in shitty relationships and now, like, they're with their partner, and the only time they got away from their partner was when he went to work, right? So it's all of these things. And so the message still to me is very much that now's our opportunity to be of the highest service. So I don't look at it like, if I'm selling something, I'm taking it. Like, if any of you have that moment of like, oh, is it taking advantage of people? No, like, people can say no to you. So this is right now with this pandemic, but also in general, the mindset of some of us helpers is like, I don't want to sign people. It's taking money. You're disrespecting people's ability to be responsible for their own life if you think that you're so magical that you can twist their arm. Ooh, that was not directed towards you directly, Kristen.
Of course
at all. I'm just speaking generally. Great question, though. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see that you're showing up. Good job on that. Okay, who else has some questions? Hi, Lauren. Good morning.
I want you to just speak to the value in not like reducing our prices right now, or doing a like, you don't have to pay me now, pay me in 3 months kind of thing.
Oh God. Where are you coming up with? Who is that? Is that what you're experiencing right now? Where
like mom groups that I'm in,
mm-hmm.
posted this like thing that said like, let's support each other now. Let's offer this. We offer our services now. You don't have to pay until the COVID bans end. And I was like, oh,
when the hell is that going to happen? Nobody knows when the hell that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Why is that supportive? I want you to think about it like this. That's not, first of all, let me back up. I'm going to take it out of this pandemic thing going on. I never suggest you trade services, which is exactly what we're talking about here in a sense, right? Like, people say to me, well, somebody can build my website and then I'm going to give them life coaching. And I'm like, no, it's never equitable. It's never equitable. I don't care if you both exchange a $1,000 check. Here you go, $1,000 for my website. Here you go, 4 sessions for life coaching. Like, I don't care if you do that. That's fine. It's a psychological thing to change. I'm sorry, I'm going to just only look at my messenger in case somebody's like, where's the link? Uh, no is really the answer. I have not discounted a thing. Why would I discount my services? It's still my time. And you can say, no, you don't want it right now. That's fine. Now, saying that, I will suggest that some of you need to come up with a new program that's just for right now necessarily, but it's not a discounted program. First of all, I never use that language. Like, you get a discount. I've learned never to use that language. I have learned that I might modify a program. Well, not modify. I never modify a program because the program is always so good, and you all know that because you're here. I would come up with something specific. So it could be that instead of doing 6 months and every week, you modify that to, I have a program still for 6 months every other week or something like that, because people still need long-term, they still need that level, they still need support. So it's not that I'm discounting it or cutting it in half or anything like that. Is BS. Do not allow yourself to fall into that trap.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I knew that you were going to say these sorts of things, and my default, right, which has been how I've operated as a therapist for the entire time I've been a therapist, is to say, oh, you need a sliding scale spot. Okay.
Oh God.
Sure. And so, yeah. And so
you all want a sliding scale? Do you want me to discount my services? No. Don't you want to invest at the level that all of you have been investing? Doesn't that make you show up differently?
It does.
Imagine if I was like, you know what, everybody, I've decided I'm going to just do half of what, first of all, to me, that doesn't feel right to all of you who have invested at the level you have invested. I could never now go back and say, well, the mastermind's half off. The empire building thing is half off. My private one-on-one is half. Like, I could never do that. That would feel like, I would feel like such that I was betraying all of you. Like, I could personally never do that. Could I say, instead of $5,000 for my life coaching, by the way, that's what my rate is, $5,000 for a 90-day package. Or actually it's 4 months, 3 times a month, 30 to 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Could I say something now like, hey, look, you can have, 1 session a month at $400 a month and Vox me, or I'd come up with something, but I would never, ever discount a current offering. That makes me so uncomfortable right now, even talking about it. I would feel like I would feel like such a betrayal. And frankly, on the other end, if my coach suddenly said, oh, my $40,000 a year mastermind, it's 20 grand now for, a whole year, I'd be like, what the fuck? I would feel so resentful. I would feel resentful and pissed. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that? I see some nodding. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just, because I'm unmuted, I'll just continue. That would feel, thinking about my current clients, that would feel really slimy to them.
Right. Our first priority is this is the order of business. My business is first, always. Then my current clients that I'm working with, always. Then the next level is former clients, which some of you are former customers and clients, right? That you've invested in a program or worked with me one-on-one, those kind of things, right? So that's the order of business. And when I say my business is first, which means I'm showing up, I'm doing things, I'm continuing. You know why? Because my family is first. I want you to remember that. It's like this whole, like, I'll discount my thing to help everybody. Help your fucking selves. Your families need you to stand up and be strong and build your businesses. If now more than ever, you all should be jumping up and down thinking, thank God I've jumped on this like online thing well before now this wave is coming. Although I'm in some of the therapist groups and a lot of people hate teletherapy, right? A lot of people don't like this. I love it. I want to tell you how much this has changed my life. practically, you know what's changed my life? My fractured foot. Nothing else has changed. I don't see a lot of people all the time. I'm such an introvert, although I know I'm confident. People never believe that. So I'm confident, so I appear like an extrovert. I'm not. So this is like, I've got the crocheting down on the sofa downstairs. I'll show you, because now I'm working on like projects, right? I'm not hiking. So for me personally, nothing has changed in my business. I see the same number of people. Well, I mean, I haven't, thank God we didn't. So we were going to invite this couple, one of our friends over, because he works out of town. And so she and I were talking, and he's like all tripped out about the whole virus. This is 2 weeks ago. Now I don't want to, and he was just like, oh my God, that virus. And I was just like, oh my God, let's invite him over so we can just like wind him up, right? Of course, now he's quarantined in his basement. So it's funny, but it's not funny. You know what I mean? Thank God we said, you know what, the next day I was like, you know what, it doesn't make sense for me to invite you guys over. Like, here we're trying to self-isolate. Thank God we didn't invite him over. Anyhow, so short of not seeing some friends or going to the gym and taking a yoga class or sitting in the steam room, or going grocery shopping several times a week, which makes me feel successful. I love grocery shopping. My life has not changed, and I'm still signing clients and all of that. I guess I'm talking, and I want to, let me back up and not talk. I just want to make sure it's very clear where I stand, so that you all can just be in clarity on, do not back down from your businesses is really the message here. Go ahead.
Yep.
You're welcome. Who else has questions? I'll read your notes in just a minute. Hey, Tracy. Nice to see you. Unmute yourself.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Nice to see you too. Nice to see everybody. So I have a question along these same lines. So totally agree. Don't discount all that sort of stuff. But you were also just talking about free stuff. So I'm wondering, do you have any thoughts about a ratio to the showing up, doing free webinars, free, I guess I would do a webinar, a live or something like that. In terms of, I guess what I'm asking, like, do you think that it's a good idea to do more of the free stuff at this point, and what the ratio would be?
Okay. So there's not a ratio. Like, I never, I know that some people are like three posts of just giving and then one free, so this is more the nuance of it. This is really important to see the difference here. When we're doing something, quote, for free, I'm not saying here's my whole entire methodology.
Right. Exactly.
I'm still plucking things out. I'm still plucking things out. So I could give away, quote, quote, free trainings, and still people, number one, need accountability and support. They need somebody, live human being, to talk to, right? To be coached, say, hey, Mary, how does this look? Hey, Tracy, what, people still need and want that. And it takes a lot for people to try and piece together all the free content. So I don't know that I have a specific ratio. It's not like, well, 4 times. And I know people teach that out there. I think that's kind of like, let that shit go, people. Just like show up and, and still show up and ask, hey, get on a call with me. Hey, here's my thing. Here's my buy now, still be in that place. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like stress eating, this is my time. Like, this is it.
So why aren't you? So I would be all over that. I would come up with like 10 ideas, 10 simple ideas that you could do. And this is what I'll teach you all, right? So some of you know this, some of you don't know this. So once you have your kind of like your steps for how you would work with somebody, your steps for how you're just plucking little pieces out. That's what you're sharing.
Yeah. I've got like 30 different ideas of stuff I'm putting together. So today sort of, it was chaos. And
why is it chaos?
It was just organizing everything in the past couple days.
How could you not say chaos?
There were a lot of things to do, I guess.
Okay, that's different, right? There's a lot of things to do right now.
There were. And so everything's like figured out. I actually had to move my office up here to the spare room, which is cool. It's great. I'm happy with
I
it.
know, I kind of like it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the spare room. So it's bright, and cheery colors and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah, so I feel like now everything's sort of like leveled off in terms of, and this is like I feel like the only place I can say like, I'm not happy about the virus, but this is like the perfect thing for my topic area to just sort of jump on.
I've been stress eating. I mean, I know I've gained.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have definitely gained. I probably like 4 or 5 pounds in the last couple of weeks for sure. So
Yeah.
that changed this morning because like the last thing I want to do is be like, my pandemic baby. I don't want that. So I would be all over that, Tracy.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be really saying it like, who here is stress eating? This is my, I would be so like straightforward. Now,
Yeah.
some of you, I have said clearly, we're not leading with like pandemic, but
Right.
you can weave in like, okay, pandemic stressful. Let's be in real, people. Right. And
Exactly.
if anything now, it's no different in a way that what I'm saying, right? Now's the time to show up. Who do you want to
Yeah.
be as a woman when this shit is over?
Yeah.
You don't want to be 20 pounds heavier. If anything,
Yeah.
you want to look back, and this is what I'll be putting out with my regret proof life, right? Now's your time to regret proof everything. Now's the time that you can
Right.
look back and say, who do I want to be when this is over? I want to personally be like 20 pounds thinner. I think I'm just like, I want to see with my muscles. Like, I want to figure out how I can work out with this broken foot. Like,
Right.
I'm like in the, like, how can I do this? And I love a challenge. So
Yeah.
when you get into this mindset, and this is what I know you want to be teaching your clients, is the mindset is like, it's going to be a blizzard. It's going to be a hurricane. It's going to be a pandemic. It's going to be a new baby. It's going to be a new puppy. It's going to be a dying parent. It's going to be
Right.
a kid home from school. It's going to be your 30-year-old moving back home, blah, 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 blah. Shit happens.
Right. Exactly.
So I'd be all in it.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
All of you.
My group is starting today.
Yay. That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right. Come
Yeah,
on, guys.
exactly.
See, good stuff is always happening. Always happening. So thank you for sharing, Tracy.
Yeah.
Who else wants to chat? Okay, let me read these notes in here real quick. Nice to see you all. Great question. Someone said if we don't spend money, we are aiding in economic downfall. So money needs to be. So I want you to think about money as energy and its circulation, right? So, I mean, am I buying as much on Amazon right now? No. Does it feel weird not to have the knock on my door almost every day with a new book? Yes. But did I not buy the $50 worth of new unicorn skin fingernail polish mama on Holo Taco? No, I didn't buy it. Do I buy I don't want to say my child is spoiled at all, but I buy certain things for her without thinking about it. So to Alice's point about, an economic downfall, I guess I don't think about it like that. I think about how can we, it's true that there's going to be, there's like our stocks have tanked 30%, of course. And so, yes, there's the circulation, but the circulation also is going to happen. Like, we are going to rebound, even if it goes into a depression, like shit's it will get better. So it's true. We do want to continue to spend money, right? And invest money. So I know, I have, like I said, I have new people, right? People are spending money and investing in business development, business coaching, and life coaching. Same thing. You're spending money, right? Charge the same fee. Yes, I charge this. Yes. Tracy says, stress eating. Go Tracy. I love who and where do we want to do that? Who, where do I want to be? Yes. Who do you want to be at the end of this? One of the things too is you might want to, all of you that do have groups, go ahead and put that in the chat. Grab your link if you have free groups and put them in the chat right now and allow your colleagues to join, just so that you can support each other. Right now is the time, like if you are friends with somebody in this group, in our other groups, whatever, and you see a familiar face, make a comment. Let's make sure that we are supporting each other right now and not just like, oh, that's a good comment. That's insufficient. Right? It needs to be very directed, like, oh, I know a lot of people that are stress eating right now. What's one good tip, Tracy? Like, be in conversation. We want to support each other right now, and me too, right? With the algorithm that's going on, because there's millions of more people right now using the internet and on social. So collaborate with each other a little bit and support each other in comments. Okay, makes sense. Who else has questions? And it can be about your personal business, about what's going on. Okay. Quiet means I need to go. So if you don't have questions, now's your time. Nobody has any questions? Okay. Well, okay,
I'll go again.
Go ahead, Lauren.
So I started my free group, and for whatever reason, I can't invite people. And I reached out to Facebook. It says I'm blocked from it. And they said the block should, whatever Facebook technical language says the block should go away in a couple days, but it's been a week. And so I don't know if you could speak to anything about that.
I guess I never invite people, so I don't know. So I guess the old school workaround is to copy your link to your group and invite people personally inside of Messenger.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff. What I do know right now about Facebook is they're doing things like, they can't really analyze like all the child porn stuff, where normally they take that down. So like some of the atrocities that are like going to be showing up, they're not able to function and pull all that down. So I don't know why they would ban or, block you. I think that right now they're scrambling, to be quite honest. And I don't want to, somebody sent out the other day, like this fear mongering, like, hey, sign up to coach with me, use, this app because social media is going to go away. Don't believe anything that you see like that, but do know that, that all social right now is flooded. So Facebook surgers, I'm sure that they've probably been hiring people to help manage everything. So I'm sure it's something along those lines. And I can't really speak to it, but I would just do the behind the scenes message people. Okay. Also, cut and paste, Shannon, just a second. When you cut and paste on Messenger, right, you hit a limit. So I have done that where I'm cutting and pasting and hey, welcome to my group. Hey, welcome to my group. Hey, welcome to my group. And I don't know, there's not a magic number, 30, 50, but there's been numerous times that Facebook's like, tap, don't do that. Right? So pay attention, maybe put a limit on how many people you invite every day, 20 people or something like that. Okay. Hey, Shannon, go ahead and unmute yourself. Thanks, Lauren. How's it going?
It's going okay. I'm currently quarantined because I had a client expose me last week on Monday. So so I'm on lockdown. It sucks. But I wanted to respond to the comment about Facebook. I know I've talked to a few people, and they're having a lot of their posts pulled down because of community standards. So I think it's what Mary was saying, like, because so many people are posting things that are questionable and they're having to go through all of that, they're like erring on the side of caution. They're pulling things down that they normally wouldn't, and people are being blocked for longer periods of time. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just because, I mean, if you've spent any time on Facebook, it's just insane things that people are kind of posting right now.
Yes.
So I just think that they're inundated with inappropriate kind of posts, and so they're just erring on the side of caution and just pulling down anything that looks suspicious, blocking people for anything that like raises a flag. I don't think it probably has anything to do with you doing anything really wrong, and they're probably just, it's taking them longer to unblock people because they're doing so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's good to hear. You've heard that too, right? Yeah, and sorry about the quarantine. So, I mean, obviously you're going to be busy doing you have plenty of work you need to be doing. So now's the time. Like, it kind of worked out for you, right? You've got plenty of work that's on your to-do list, if you will. By the way, all of you should be getting, all of you who are in the foundations course or who have had access to that, you should be getting, if you don't already have it in your email, a new login for Kartra. So please make sure you do that and reach out to me. Let me know, let me know if you have any questions about that. The interface does look a little bit different, which is totally fine. I'm going to be working a lot in Kartra myself this weekend. I'm super pumped about it. For those of you who aren't really familiar with it, no, you don't have to have it. Is it a platform? It's like, I think you can buy it individually, like $80 a month or something. One of the reasons I'm utilizing it is just behind the scenes, I always like to be transparent. Kajabi was costing $145 or $150 or something like that a month just to house like the foundations course, Make Money speaking course. And that's all I was using it for. And I'm like, you know, that's too much money, to be honest, to just house it when there's other free places, so to speak, to house it, or there's other platforms. So the reason I moved it to Kartra specific, although it's for the level that I need it at, I'm paying, I want to say $139 or $140, but I will be utilizing some of their other features. So for all of you, you're at the place in your business that you don't need the level I am, but one of the reasons I like it is because it's kind of a one-stop shop. Now, no software is perfect, but for some of you who do not have websites yet, they have an area where you can kind of make a blog. You don't need a blog. This is not what I'm saying. Create a website. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is it allows you to have a landing page for your freebie opt-in, have a sales page. One of the things I'll be setting up is an abandoned cart, which means like, hey, Sally, I see that you clicked on the link to buy, invest in, sign up for the Foundation Self-Study course. And then you said, no, why? And then, there'll be emails like that. If one person re-signed after, if that mechanism, that emails went out and only one person a year signed up again, it would pay for itself. So, the Foundations course is $1,000 self-study. So if one person signed up for that, it would pretty much pay for it for me. So these are the ways I calculate investments inside my business. So if you have any questions about that, I know this is really advanced and this will be stuff I'm really teaching, in the mastermind and because it's, and not even anytime in the near future, it's like down the road. But these are the evaluations that personally, no matter how much money I make, I am very much like, I like to keep my money. So I look at like, what's a feature and what's the return on investment for that feature? Is it worthwhile or not? So, and you're welcome to ask me any questions about that now. Good. I like to see that you all, if you do have, I see some of you are putting in your free Facebook groups. Great. And for those of you who don't have a free Facebook group right now, this is not the time to be like, I don't have one. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Oh, good. So some of you got it. Great. Good. Please do me the favor of just like accessing it and dig around a little. I've obviously been in there and it does look a little bit different, but it's the information. You haven't seen it yet. Okay. So, keep me posted. And let me tell you one of the little behind the scenes that for some of you who had signed up historically, Kirsten says this morning, for social media challenge, just a second, Raquel. I'm actually, this is one of the little workarounds. I'm not going to put that in Kartra, FYI. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be sending you a Google document that has links for all those videos with the workbook. Nobody's probably ever going to see that again because that was a long ass social media challenge. Personally, I will never do that way again. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, that shit was long. It was an hour and a half. I'll never do. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that is 100% why I signed up with you by clicking a button and not even having a discovery call. So just for feedback purposes, I watched your social media challenge. I did it. And that's how I developed my relationship with you. And I never even talked to you. And I signed up for Foundations. So.
Oh my God. Thank you for telling me that. Maybe I should just put that out right now for free. I should just go ahead and be
I'm just telling you, it was really good. Okay.
No, I agree. It was really good. I will acknowledge that. I think that, maybe it was just like, for me, it was, thank you for saying that, Kristen. I really appreciate that. So, so you're saying it gave you the opportunity to see like, this is how I am, right? And this is the wealth of knowledge that I do know that I have. So thank you for sharing that. Then maybe what I'm going to do, maybe I'll put that out there and run that as like, here you go, everybody, while you're sitting around doing nothing, here's a free Facebook social media, or here's okay, Kristen, I'm going to do that. And the very first person who signs up for that Foundations course, self-study, I'm going to, no, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's really helpful to me. I appreciate that. Okay. Raquel says that she has a juicy question. That's my favorite.
I meant that the Facebook challenge was really juicy.
Oh, wow. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for saying that. I'm going to put a little note here that I need to build out something for that to put that back out. So thank you. I appreciate that. It really means a lot. How can I help you today?
Oh, well, so dovetailing off of this whole situation, my cousin who's in the Bay Area worked with a tech company, and so they have some parents, obviously, on their workforce, and so he was talking with me about offering some sort of like a webinar or a group or something for supporting the parents who are kind of
Oh yeah.
stressing out over, now they have the kids at home, and how do they kind of, keep themselves in a good place and parent through this and support their children. So so the general idea is he wants me to put together some sort of proposal. And so I'm just trying to think on, well, first of all, too, what kind of questions should I ask, right? Like one of the things I think that came up is, could I make an offer at the end for anybody who would like to have, sort of one-on-one support from me, afterwards. And I got the impression that this is something that the company is sponsoring, so that they would pay for that if it were going to be a paid thing.
Okay, so let me just address a few things, and you can ask me some more questions about this.
Yeah.
So typically one of the things, if somebody says, oh, I want you to come into my company and do a whatever it is, I would say, what's the budget?
Right, what's the budget?
Say, oh my gosh, let me put together something. Tell me a little bit about what the budget is so I know how long to make this.
Okay.
So you're positioning it that way. You always want to see if they can, and this is what you're going to get. Oh, I don't really know. I don't know what the budget is. Well, how long do you want? Like, who's the point person to have a conversation about it?
Okay.
So I've been flown into different companies and done a live workshop, and if I'm there on site for the day, it's actually, so when we were talking about discount, it's less than what my normal VIP day would be. However, then typically I'm doing like leadership coaching. So on the back end of that, it's like I'm signing coaching clients for leadership development. For this particular instance, when you're doing a live webinar, I would ask them, first of all, what the budget is. I would see whether or not you can make an offer. I would clarify those two things. So if they say, yes, you can make an offer, I still would charge them, whatever, $250 for the hour or something like that. It's probably going to take you a good solid hour to 2 hours to put together your slides. If it takes you longer than that, you're overthinking it. Now, it might take a minute to make them pretty or whatever, or simple, but really you should just be able to bop, 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 right? And I know that you know this topic, so there's no reason that you can't just be like that. Don't over deliver, don't overwhelm, like have 3 to 5 concrete bullet points that are simple. Raquel has taken the Make Money speaking course. So I want you to, Raquel, use that exactly. So the Make Money speaking course, for all of you, FYI, it's, I built my business initially speaking all across the country. The methodology is the same. You can utilize the same methodology to create an online workshop, webinar, masterclass, whatever you want to talk about. So the format that I have given her, or that she invested in, honestly, is the same. So actually, for those of you who will be moving forward, right, and we're going to talk about workshops and all that kind of stuff in the future, it's very similar. So what are your thoughts on that, Raquel?
Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, to revisit that, and I am doing a workshop at the end of the month anyway, so it's sort of, I'm probably going to be bringing some of that material.
Recycle, repurpose, reuse, exactly.
Right.
So I would reach out. I'd say, oh, you know what? I thanks a lot. I put a little thought on this overnight. I wanted to double check what's the budget, and also how long do you want this? And this is the thing. Is this a live workshop? Is this
this would be virtual.
A virtual workshop? Okay, so it's a virtual
Sure.
workshop.
People are working from home anyhow.
Right. So my question is, are you giving them access to the recording?
Ooh, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Right. So that's part of the equation, right? So if you are giving them access to the recording, you have to have built in then an offer. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. You don't want to just be, There needs to be some kind of offer there. And it can be a simple offer. It could be an offer like, you know, I know that you all are home. What's the topic again? What's the title going to be?
Actually, I don't have a title yet. He kind of threw out something catchy like parenting under quarantine.
That's cute. Okay. So, you know, how not to hate your kids by the end of the quarantine or something like that, right? So you may do something where, do you have a free Facebook group too right now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I would do this. So there's a couple ways that we can do this, guys. Okay, ready? There's number one. So just pay attention. I know that this is going to get a little detailed, kind of, but I'm really going to just kind of try and high level it. When we're guests on a podcast or when we are doing something like this virtual event, you always want to think, what's the end result that you want? So for Raquel, it could be that her end result actually is just a get on the phone with me so that she could sell them into her coaching. That's one kind of call to action. Another call to action is join my free, you love this webinar, join my free Facebook group because I have lots of great content in there. And then they can sign up with their email and you can invite them into your free Facebook group. And then for lack of a better words, but you all know, because I've work it right inside the free Facebook group. So you have to make a decision on what works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't put out numbers like my program's $6,000 for 6 months or whatever it is. It would be like, thanks so much. I know that some of you are like, oh my God, this is really helpful. So, and we want to offer one thing.
One thing. So you're saying, but that wouldn't include the freebie, right? Like, because I'm thinking of my freebie so they can jump on my email list.
Right. So no, or that. So it's like, join my group, get on a call with me. Here's my freebie. Because then if you give them the freebie for everybody, her opt-in, right? It's like, then you have their email. Once they sign up, that thank you page is where you can do the invitation either to a call or to your free Facebook group. And then you have your email sequence. That's like, get on the phone with me, get on the phone with me. Did you join my Facebook group?
What about this, right? Because this would be for parents in general, which would include moms and dads, but I only work with moms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of how I might pitch an offer without making the dads feel excluded. You know what I mean?
We don't care about the dads. So. Okay. Like, it doesn't matter if they feel excluded or not. It's not about them.
Okay. So
predominantly, if a man signs up, this is what happens to me. I'll let you know. Men trying to come into my free Facebook. Now I have men on my email list. I've had men book a call, and you know what I say to them? I don't work with men. When people try and join my Facebook group, I personally message them and I'm like, this group is just for women. Although I don't have that on there, I only work with women. So it's just like, I let them know. Now I know a man invited you. So, the truth is that, so there could be that you want to do this one-time offer for parents. You could do this where maybe you should just have them sign up for your freebie, because then you know whether it's a man or a woman.
Well, the freebie is about mom guilt.
Right. So right there, right? Okay. So then men are not going to be signing up for that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let us know what you end up deciding to do. Tracy says, do you know when that Google Doc is going to come out? I would love to listen to the Facebook group training stuff again. Yes. I don't know. Let me ask Susan. Susan, she's my VA, my new tech VA. Hey, oh my God, I'm so excited. People are telling me that they're getting their Kartra invitation, and also wanted to double check with you when you think that Google Doc will come together with the social media on it. Just let me know. I've decided to also relaunch that, so that would be perfect. Talk to you later. Oh my God, y'all. When you get to the point when you are hiring people, so this is one of the things I'm definitely going to be talking about with the mastermind in Empire Building 101, is when you decide that ROI for building out a team. Let me tell you, it's a huge difference. We all need that, etc. Okay, what questions do you have? Any other questions? Shannon?
So, excuse me, I'm just intrigued now because you are talking about having like a team. Obviously, I'm just starting, so I'm nowhere near that. But can you just tell us a little bit about like what your team looks like who you have on your team to help support your business?
Yes. So this is definitely something that you and I will be talking about, and that's part of your program. Yes. So this is how I analyze when I have a team of people. And let me back up. I'm definitely answering this. But when I get asked a question, it's kind of a couple things. So my business coach, she has, several multi-million-dollar companies. And so that was one of the questions that I asked her, really, right? So look at you, good question. We're like, tell me all about the team. When do you hire? When do you do the da-da-da-da-da? So she's just like me. She's very transparent. She at one time had a large team and she scaled back. And so, of course, I always try and pass on the lessons I gleaned from my high-end coach with all of you. And so to answer your question directly, it's like my team, the support I have is I have right now inside my mastermind, I have a copywriter, Facebook ads expert. So she's part of that, right? She has her own business, but she's also part of my collective team. I also have a tech VA. So she specializes specifically in tech. I also have a customer service person. And she's going to help with my YouTube channel because that's getting ready to kind of be blown out. So what that looks, and she helps with like credit cards or somebody's credit card like expires, stuff like that, normal stuff that happens. And the rest of my team also includes my housekeeper. It also includes my yard people. It includes my Danny, my hairstylist, my Botox giver, my facialist. I want you to think about all your team literally is a collective of not just within my business. So in my business, it's really Susan, who's the new VA tech. She loves tech stuff. She loves that shit. I like software too. I just don't have the time to completely invest in it. So every single one of you here could have an assistant now, a VA, even if it was like 5 hours a month. And this is one of the things we're going to work on is looking at what tasks are you doing that you could delegate, automate, delegate, eliminate, right? What could you delegate and then ultimately automate within your business? So for example, I believe we all need to know how to scrub our own toilet. But frankly, I don't know the last time I cleaned my own toilet because I have Oksana now, right? And before that I had Heidi, and before that I had Adriana. You have to analyze, you all need to know how to run your businesses 100%. So that means I know all of the software. Now the Kartra, I'm still learning some of it. It's not as, like Infusionsoft I know, and all my other, like I run my own Facebook ads, I do all of that. Now my husband helps a little, so he's on my team. Oh, and then I have Josiah. He does a little bit on my WordPress site. But for the most part, all of you need to know how to run your entire business. So this is the question. When do you decide? So it looks like this. If it's taking you too long to figure out how to use Canva to make some pretty little graphic, go on Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and hire some Joe to do it. Also, I have, with Susan and Joanne, I have specifically asked them, how long would it take you to put together somebody's email, opt-in, these small things that are really big things that you all need? How many hours? So I can tell you all, how much is it roughly going to cost you to invest in hiring these experts, right? If it costs a couple $100 or $100 to have them build out an entire email sequence for you, or to, if you're going to use Kartra, if it costs you $200 to have them build out Kartra, like that's the best $200. So I look at it like this. This is and some of you have heard this, so I'm sharing this with Shannon because she might not have heard this. If I'm paying Agazana, okay, it takes her, is it 3.5 or 4 hours to clean my whole house. So I guess it's 3 hours, and she folds laundry and does all my laundry. So if I'm paying her $30 an hour and she's here for 4 hours, it's $120. Okay. in that 4 hours, number one, I don't like to clean. I don't want to do laundry. I would rather pay somebody. But more importantly, I am paying her to do this. And now those 4 hours, even if I was just going to take a yoga class, right? But let's say I'm working, you know, in the beginning, when I hired people, I made sure that when they're here, I am like working. So it's like, how much can I make per hour compared to $30 an hour? So this is where you have to start thinking about things. If it takes you 10 hours to do something where you could have paid somebody, and let's just say you make $200 an hour on average in your coaching, those 10 hours, that's $2,000. If you could have paid somebody $200, it doesn't make sense, right? It's just like all of you invested working with me. You look at like, how many hours would it take you to go research all this on your own to learn it, when instead you have me or the programs that you've invested in to have it as a resource. So think about how much time you save. Make sense? So
yeah, absolutely.
Is that helpful? Did that answer it? I know it was long-winded, but again, it's like, and part of why I share it like this is to also help you all with your selling and helping people recognize this is part of what you're conveying to your ideal clients. How long does somebody want to still figure out, you know, how to have a good relationship, how to have great sex, how to be a good parent, how to stop stress eating, like, right? So we're always looking at, I want you to always think about everything that you're doing. What's a return on investment? And more importantly, lifetime return on investment. So for some of you, the skills that you learn working with me, they obviously are lasting a lifetime. I still get emails from previous clients who are like, oh my God, I just, you know, did this, or I $3,100 week, or I had a $9,600 month, or so they're still gleaning and using the skills that they're learning or have learned working with me. Make sense?
Yes, definitely a mindset thing. Like we talked about the other day, it's definitely about altering your mindset.
Yes. So, tell me more about what your thoughts are about that now. How has this like shifted a little bit for you?
You know, hearing you say all of that, I feel like I've actually had the same conversation with my husband, but have never kind of taken that to myself. Like, your time is money. So if you can spend less because your time is valuable, like how do you put a price on what your time is? Like, if, like you said, if you could be making $200 an hour or whatever that number looks like, and, you know, spend a small amount of money to free up your time so that you can be making more money, that totally connects for me. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And let's look at it too, for those of you who are like, well, that's great, Mary, making money, but let's look at it from a life coaching position too. So let me share it that way as well, so that you can all use it also for your own businesses. So let's look at it like this. So true, I could be making money, or like I said, I could like spend time with my family. So instead of me working 3 or 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday, cleaning my house, now I can have time with my family. So this is what I want you to think about with your individual clients. Think about your niches right now, who your ideal client is. Let's use, oh, she's not on here. There she is, Tracy. Let's use Tracy as an example. So for her, she could say to her clients something along the lines like, Tracy, you know, I want to ask you, I know that you're thinking about working with me, and this is if somebody gave a pushback when they're like $6,000 to work with me, and they're like, oh my God, Tracy, that sounds like so much money. Be like, you know, Mary, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, like, in truth, how much time are you spending standing in front of your closet? How much time are you spending thinking, oh my God, you know, I can't believe I ate that. How much time are you in stress? So let me ask you, with all, you know, with all candor, what would you be doing differently if you actually had more free time? Instead of thinking about all of that, what would you do? What's the result that you want about stopping this stress eating? See, that's how, do you see how now I turned it into the ROI for our life coaching? So instead of like, oh, you're going to be making more money, which I'm telling you all that, right? That's why you all need to hire some people. For your life coaching clients, or with me, when I would say to my life coaching clients, like, I can think of this one woman specifically. She was drinking, and then she would just beat herself up. And she drank because she was in a shitty relationship. So I didn't think she was an alcoholic. So clinically, it was just that she was habituated because of her spouse. And then she would just rail herself. And so the truth was, it was more like, you know, this is literally what happened, and she started crying. This is what happened on the sales call. I don't know how many clients on a sales call have started crying, what does that tell you all when somebody starts crying on a sales call, right? They're having a moment of realization that, number one, somebody hears them, right? That I hit a nerve, right? Somebody hears them. Somebody understands them. Somebody gets how they're feeling and is saying, I can help you. So if you're not making people cry on sales calls, it's fine. I'm not saying you're failing at all. But my point with her was, I said to her, like, you know, what you're telling me is that you're drinking, then you feel bad about yourself. And that for her, if she's a salesperson, you know, then you're not speaking up, then you're feeling bad about your body. You're not even like dressing nicely. You just feel self-conscious. And it's like, what's the cost to you? Let's just put your sales business on the side for a minute. And let's look at, like, what's the cost to you every day showing up, feeling bad about yourself? Like, how's that? So you get into this terrible cycle. It's like you feel bad about yourself. You're in a bad relationship, and then you drink because he's drinking. And then, and you tell me what you want is you want to do yoga. You want to play with that new grandbaby that's coming. You want to do like how much longer do you want this cycle to last? And she was just like, rah, right? So that's the point. So it's looking at, like, so what's $5,000 if you feel great about yourself and you're playing with your grandchild, and, you know, you start feeling like when is the last time you've truly invested in yourself to have support, to hold you accountable and hold the goal of what you want out of your life, that precious goal? And that was just like floodgates, right? Since then, FYI, she's quit drinking. She actually left her husband. They hadn't had sex in, get ready, hold on, I'm getting ready to say a number, you're all going to die. 9 years. And I was like, girl, you need to leave just because of that, but whatever. Yeah. But again, it was one of the, you know, we all have these weird relationships, right? Where we're like, well, one day, blah, 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 whatever. Anyhow, she's now in like a really healthy dynamic relationship. She feels gorgeous and sexy. She's having great sex. She's doing well in her sales business again. She's like risen up, and she moved out of the big ass house that she had. She lives in a little condo, but she's happy. So that was the best $5,000 she ever spent. Lifetime return on investment. God, it makes me just want to cry, y'all. People need us. Coaching is wonderful. Can you tell I love this, right? I love helping you. I love thinking about you having beautiful, wonderful experiences with your own clients. It's amazing. Okay. So that was the long answer for Shannon. I don't always have long answers, but today we're kind of just free flowing. Usually I'm a lot more direct. I have someone who helps me with my email inbox, blogs, flyers, etc. Right. Have used Fiverr for designer. Great seeing everyone. You're welcome. Oh, maybe she already left. Yes. So you're welcome. You're welcome. How is this helpful for everybody today? Are you feeling more like solid? Yes. Anybody else have any questions before we go? Extremely great. Any other questions? All right, go sign some clients, go make some money, keep me posted. Actually, I have, I'm going, yes, so thank you. Anybody have like any last questions? I'm sorry, I got distracted. My thing went off. So maybe it was Susan telling me, and it was. Let me see what she says. The Google Doc is already done. It was done the other day, but so it was already done. So y'all are going to get, for those of you who had signed up for that social media, and I think that those of you who, I forget what it was, like some of you got that. You got that specifically when you signed up for foundation scores or something, I don't know. So those of you who know you signed up for that and should have gotten that as part of your foundation scores, like tag me so I can make sure that you get that immediately. All right. And otherwise I am going to go ahead and put that out. Thank you on inside my free Facebook group. I'll put those, but I always pull down those videos. So all of you who are doing challenges, remember you want to pull those videos off. If you don't know how to save those, let me know. I have a secret. I have a secret way of being able to download videos out of a group. All right, everybody, I will talk to you later. And there's one of you on here that we're gonna, that I had tagged this morning to do a messenger to chat. So if we can just jump off this and jump into messenger video, that would be perfect. All right. All right. Bye, everybody. Nice seeing you all.